listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano, and it is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. I'm having an outer body experience right at this moment. It really is. It's happening as we speak. I don't feel like these are my eyes. I don't feel like this is my computer. I don't feel like this is my microphone in front of me, or camera, and this hat. It looks familiar, but I'm telling you, it's an outer body experience. But let's share it together, shall we? Tonight, we're going to talk about this historic photo behind me. Why it's so important to understand what's going on in ufology. It's all right here. It is. It's very strange. Very, very strange. I think I'm the only one who's seeing it, because that's the kind of guy I am. Attention for details. Some things are probably accidental. Some things may be on purpose. But I'm telling you, and I mean this with all my heart, disclosure is never going to happen with these people. It can't. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. What's going on in the world of the paranormal, the strange, and true. That's right, folks. I don't know. I don't even know who I am. Let's do a little bit of roll call. Get the show on the road. Is this true? Monkey Man. It says 20, but why does it look like a 10? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I thought they were orange, right? Who cares? Thank you, Monkey Man. I appreciate it. No matter what color it comes in. Thank you very much. That's a super sticker, mind you. And I can't thank you enough for that. Your continuing support is well documented. I don't know what that means either. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Of course I do. I can't hear myself. Maybe that's what's going on. Hello? Check. 1. 2. Poo. Won't you do it like that? Thank you very much. Monkey Man in the house. Welcome to the show. It's a $20 super donation. Dorothy Hawkins with a $2 super dono. Thank you, Dorothy. And that means love. It's a donation with no message attached to it or emoji sticker. For those who don't know why I say, well, it's a dono. That's a dono. Thanks, Dorothy. Continuing supporter of Goofon, of course. Big sister. Jeanette, the angel of Goofon, with a £5, 5 quid super sticker. Thank you. Jeanette, the angel of Goofon. Well, where'd he come up with that name, Ethel? It's in her name, Herman. Oh, yeah. The 2 L's threw me off. You know, that conversation is happening somewhere once a week. Every time I was the angel of God, okay. And then when I do, how about Diane Boss? It's Boss, right? B-O-S. But I don't understand it if he said it right. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the show. Jeanette, you really are an angel. Thank you very much. Mucho gusto, generoso. And a little roll call. Welcome to the show, Glenn Collins. Oh, by the way, welcome to the show. Jeanette. There's Diane. What's up, Glenn? Diane Boss, the boss of Goofon. Isn't that what I call her? Zach Diecast Mont. Welcome to the show. You ever notice the little butt raise? I always do that when I do. Doot. Just saying. Hey, Frankie B. Frankie B has just been watching for months quietly. You should have stayed hidden. Now everybody's going to come after you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate it. Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm not going to forget. I know. I just reminded
the very
myself.
Mission they gave me in the first place. Left the Department of Defense, ironically enough, to finish the very mission they gave me in the first place. I didn't ask for it. I'm not a UFO guy, not a ufologist. I never have been, I never will be.
Never will be.
I'm a counterterrorism and counterespionage guy. I do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do. And it just so happens that in 2008, I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO community.
Little reminder. Welcome to the show, Frankie B. Dorothy Hawkins, there you are. Welcome to the Donovan, welcome to the show. Stephen A. How you doing? Bob Perkins, 2 B's are better than 1, not boobies. God, how did I not come up with that sooner? Kelly Lewis, how you doing? Welcome to this show. David Wilcox, not Wilcox. Welcome to the Stephen Kahn, how you doing, Chief? Giddy up. All right, Brian Yates, how you doing? From New England. From New England. Mr. Brian Yates. That was a good one. He did that good, didn't he? Huh? What? What did he do? Brookers, you know what I'm actually doing? I'm doing conversations my parents have with each other. Yes. Murder Hornet. Welcome to the show, F.A.P. What's up, FAP? Good to see you. How about them Dodgers this year, huh? Hey, Scott Brown, how you doing? Hey, we're going to use a little bit of your stuff tonight, I think, right? Glad to see you on this side of the grass. It took me a second to realize that I read it, and then I went, wait. Me too. Me too. Scott posted couple of interesting photos I was going to talk about tonight. And, what better time than to do that than at the end of the show. I'll do it. We'll do it right now. Glad to see you, Scott. And everybody else, hey, that's roll call. If I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means, showtime, officially. All right, so let's pull it up. Let's look at what Scott posted today. Mr. Brown, I like it because he was driving, I believe, and taking pictures of something. Let me just pull it up. Sunrise, sunset, I don't know. Some things in the sky, right? He was just aiming his camera. I've done it. That's how I got the only photo I've ever taken. It was with a real camera, too, where I captured that people are saying, oh, it's a camera. Oh. The only time I ever captured something metallic that looks amazing. Anyway, Scott, too, captured something. He didn't see it while he was taking photos. I was originally shooting photos of the sunrise. Oh, okay, so I was right. All right, let's take a look. Oh. I didn't realize you actually, oh, okay. I thought you actually sent that to me, right? I captured this on my, oh, you also had that other one. No, wait. Oh, wait, what is this? Where is there more? What is this? August 14th. Oh, I didn't see this. This is amazing. Wait a sec. Really? Let me pull it up. Let me show you. I'm like, hey. All right, this is photo. Okay, so I'm going to show this real quick. I don't know why I didn't see this. I don't know. But beautiful picture, by the way. Love the sunrise. My computer just decided to start doing a detox of hot air. I don't know. It's done that twice today. It's come on out of nowhere. The fans start blowing, and that's not a good sign. All right, so here it is. This thing down here. Whatever it is. He didn't see it when he was shooting the picture. Taking the picture. Shooting the picture. So that's that. Oh, there's more. So, what do you think it is? Well, wow, I just don't know. This looks like water here, but I'm not sure it is. But even if it is, you look at the sky and you try to see if there's anything reflecting, coming in. Could it be a drone? People have reported orbs forever. So call this, I don't know. Well, I think we got a closer up image here. So let me pull that up. I captured this on my way to work this morning. The field that you saw is approximately a mile from my home, and I am very familiar with this area. I understand. I do that too. Always looking around, say, hey, criminal. Don't you? You look for familiar cars and things, and no? You just drive blindly home, not seeing if anybody's ever repeating, hiding in a tree or something, All right. Maybe it's just me. He says, I'm not sure what it was. My first thought was insect, but I don't think so. So here's a blow-up of that image. In 4, 3, 2, and go. There's the image, and it's a glow. Interesting. Monday, August 14th, 2023 at 5:45 a.m. Palmer, Mass. Is it Mass? Near the flats. You know, you do lose IQ points when you get old and now you're supposed to get smarter. Look at this. So, this could be a real Earth light. Or swamp gas. I don't know. That looks like fog or... See it over here? Yeah, sometimes my cursor shows up. Shures up? Yep. Sometimes it shures up. Sometimes it didn't. But there it is in the red circle there. And you can see. I don't know. Looks like a pyramidal shape. It's Boca! It's Boca. Is it Boki? How do you say it? Yeah, no, it's not that. That is so strange. So, is it a boat? Is that water? I don't think that's water. I think that's fog-ish. It's a really good photo for a person driving down the road. I don't know, Scott. I really don't know. Was somebody flying a drone in the area? It wouldn't look like that. Unless it was reflecting the sky, but the sky's not that color, so I mean, it is way down here, you know, but you know, here we have one of Ufology's own capturing something. Scott Brown. Oh, I think we got another photo. I think I do. See, I think there were 3 out of the 8 photos he said he took had this object in it. I don't know why. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I took a sequence of 8 photographs out the window of the car and captured it in 3 of the photographs, and I'm going to show you those 3. When I'm ready. Hey, did anybody notice on my Twitter account yet? Anybody notice? You'll see in a minute. You can see right over here. See that? Yeah. All right, here's the photos in sequence. So it could have been the tree. Okay, so maybe because the tree foliage was in the way when he was driving, because that was one of my questions. How come it didn't show up in the other photographs? Did it cloak itself? You know, you never know. Like if it blinked on or off or whatever, you don't know. Or did tree limbs get in the way? Yeah, that's what it is, probably. Good stuff. I don't know, man. I think you got Earth lights here, Chief. Let me pull that up a little bit more. I do. I really think you got an Earth light. Or somebody's flying some sort of remote control glider that just happens to glow. It's good stuff. Good stuff, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's a UFO. That's a true UFO. Hey, let me tell you. What you did right there, and you should be proud of yourself. Everybody, give Scott a nice round of applause. Because that's better than anything Corbell's given us. Just beautiful. You know, there's no mistaking it for a bird. Is it a bird? Nah. No mistaking it for a flare. Nah, it couldn't have been that. I don't know. It looks like it's just an earth light. An elemental of some sort of creature of the night. You know what I like? I like that it was during sunrise. Because I've captured some wild stuff around sunrise. And I think it's just like the energy from the sun's light cascades over the earth. It's like a charge, man, comes into life. It just, that's why the flowers open up and they go, yes! And that's why we wake up and go, 5 more minutes. That's why we wake up every day. Now, that's not why, but it, if you're a positive type of person like me, where the glass is half empty most of the time. Nah, I'm a half full kind of guy. I really am. I may come across as a negative, like, I don't believe anything or anyone. But with reason. I mean, don't you see we're being lied to every day? Not by Scott. Scott, that was fun. I'm glad that you captured something and shared it with me. That was cool. And I'm glad I was able to show you guys. Hey, even by accident, he got something we can't explain. And I wasn't really joking when I said that's better than anything Corbell's given us, because that's legitimate. And you see what Corbell does. There's intent to not show you anything. He knows that's nothing, 29 palms. It's all flares. Proven, done, end of story. And then, I hear somebody spoke to the witnesses on the ground other than Corbell, and they were hysterical laughing that this has gotten that much attention in the UFO community. They had no idea. They're like, it was flares. Everybody's like, what is Jeremy, what? A craft? What is he talking? No, everybody was like, what's this guy talking about? Even they couldn't believe it. So, the story was a little bit skewed, but when you lose, you have to take your hits. You got it. You got to apologize. If Jeremy apologized for all those terrible things he's given us, I'd be okay with it. I'd be like, this guy's trying. At least he's trying. Wouldn't you feel a little different? But it's the delivery method, the way it's done, like we're right and you're wrong, even though you don't know anything about this yet, makes you wrong. But I'm already right, and I'm never going to admit when I'm wrong. That's the attitude he has. He's like a Jake Paul of ufology, right? I mean, it's a joke to him to have all this happening, to have me talking about him. He loves it. Loves it. How can you not? Feed the ego. Keep talking about him. He loves it. All right. Well, you know what? Egos are short-lived. And they always get bruised. And someday a dose of reality is going to happen to that guy. Even though he gets it, he sees what people are saying. And then he just scoffs it off. He goes, I don't care. I'm on to the next thing. He's already done 3 things before he's put out the last thing. Jeremy's always working. Always looking for the next big thing. And George is very good at finding those open doors. They know who to go to. They know when to go to. They've got it down. Everybody's almost in succinct. Succinct? Or is it just synced? Everybody synced? Oh yeah, I didn't say it. You can help support the show. GoFund is supported by yous guys. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. All right, and on we go. Can I have a bite of my meal here for a second? What? No? Maybe it's the thumbnail. It's me. It's me. It's eerily quiet. Yeah, it is, like I said at the beginning of the show, outer body experience. I wasn't really joking. I mean, it is a weird day. I don't even want to mention it. I don't even want to mention it. I did. I don't. What are we talking about? Seriously. What are we doing? No, I'll be real with you. Doing this for as long as I've been doing it, I'm almost to the believing point. Something's telling me not to continue that thought. Something's telling me not to continue that thought. Oh, wow. Oh, Jeanette, it's got to be you. I know the number. PayPal. Oh, that is really strange, the timing of all this. I'm not going to continue that thought. Jeanette, I'm sorry. I didn't know this came in. It did make the normal noise, notification noise. I'm sorry that, or I didn't hear it. But $12.17 to PayPal from Jeanette. She did that like right as the show started, 11 after 7. Right as I came in. Thank you, Jeanette. Again, a continuing supporter of GoofOn and the angel of GoofOn. Thank you very much. On PayPal. All right. So I was just saying, oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to continue that thought. All right. So I'm going to erase. So I'm just going to go, what's that? Jurassic erase. Oh, okay. Stupid esophagus. So I'm just going to continue how we were talking about Scott Brown. He's also brought this to our attention. This. He says, I can't believe this is even going around again. It's more ridiculous BS. So this photo, that it's being heralded as real. And do you know Uri Geller, the bullshit artist? Mental dose of reality dude? He says that these aliens, matter of fact, I might as well just pull up that. Thank you, Scott, for pointing that out. Let me pull this up. Oh, that's right. The members video. Oh, I owe you guys tonight. Oh my God, I didn't do the members video. I knew there was something I forgot to do last night. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. Tonight, I got a good one. All right. We'll do it tonight. Half of you are going to hate it. Half of the members will probably. But if you're a member, oh, mother. You see? Half of you are gonna. Well, then I was just saying, yeah. I've got so much stuff to show you. All right, let's do this. This is not going to end well tonight. It ended well. It ended well. It ended well. Ha ha. I win. You die. End of story. I just ended that. He was so intrusive. Did you see him go right into my eye? All right. I'm supposed to play something. Uri Geller. Anyway, he was saying that the picture of those aliens I'm showing you are the same ones he saw when he was abducted. You know, that guy's done it all. I told you. He's done it all. Uri Geller. Uri. Tonight, Uri Geller. I've got a lot of stuff to go over. And you know, I don't have to stop at the top of 9 o'clock. I can keep going. If you guys hang out, I'll keep going. Because tonight's just bizarre. This is just a bizarre night. This is so weird. All right, I did that one. These are the things I didn't play last night. Oh, that's right. Oh, I was supposed to start off the show with that. I set this up. I don't remember. 2:30, 3 o'clock today. What time was it? I don't remember. Oh, I'm such a dill hole. Oh, I'm so stupid. All right, let's get back to work. All right. Let's do this. I'm resetting. I'm resetting. All right. There we go. Okay. Let's do this. So this is... Let's talk about the photo. You want to talk about this? You want to talk about this? Isn't this weird? I can't think. I'm telling you, I'm having an outer body experience tonight, and it comes and goes. It's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, all right? All right. I got to play this clip for you. That's right. Okay, it's coming back to me. I'm fine. Just a little dementia. Never hurt anybody. All right. David Grush has been muzzled this week. Is the title here. Knapp and Corbell reveal that David Grush has been muzzled this coming week. They can't explain why yet or any more details. Oh, yeah, it was on Weaponized. Yeah, I watched Weaponized today. It was all right. Yeah, it is what it is. But Corbell says that they can keep him silent for a week, but it's not going to last. George Knapp questions whether the U.S. Air Force is involved with this pushback.
He has to walk this really fine line of what is classified, what is not. Now, we all want to know, is what he says true? But in order to have that opportunity, he can't be muzzled. I will tell you this right now. He's been effectively muzzled for this coming week. He's muzzled. And he's muzzled. I can't explain why, and you know.
Effectively muzzled?
Why, but I can't explain why. But they have, and who are they? So people invested in not having him talk. Because look, all this is nonsense, right?
First of all, jazz hands. Hello, Dolly. I mean, what is this? What is this? And what's with the signal over here? Forefathers? The fist? I don't understand. Broken thumb? Look at me. I'm in a jazz song and I love it here in ufology. I'm sitting on a... Huh?
Right? If it was nonsense, would you have all of this reprisal going on? So they've effectively muzzled him for this week. We'll give it a week. It's not going to last. It is not going to last.
So I'm wondering, is the...
Wait. Why won't it last? It's the government. They put a muzzle on Grush. You no speak. We don't want you to go nowhere and speak. Remember that? When they did that with Lou Elizondo? When he first got into ufology and went over to TTSA, they kept all of the people they didn't want him to talk to away from him. He talked about it. And once he left TTSA, that's when we saw the real Lou Elizondo, the bully. So, why would Jeremy think if the government muzzled David Grush for a week, which is really weird, by the way. Let's say that's happening and he's muzzled for a week. Can they continue the muzzle on Grush indefinitely? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. David Grush is a puppet in all of this. I feel bad for him. I really do. He didn't know what he was getting into. Hell, I wouldn't even know what the hell I'm getting into if all of a sudden I start revealing what I know. When I used to work at we called it S for Love. S for Love. A little different. It's on another level. Right underneath. Go straight up into the bowels of everything. It was amazing. And the things that I know, if I start talking about that stuff, I gush all over S for Love. And when I mean all over, I mean it's all over. Anyway, come on. The government will threaten, abuse, and use that power they've got to get the job done. And if the getting the job done is keeping David Grush on a muzzle, in a muzzle, with a muzzle, that's what's got to be done. You talk too much. And Lou started doing that. Remember? Lou started talking way too much. He talk a long time. Too long, Lou. Too long, Lou. Remember we used to call him Too Long Lou? we should have.
The Air Force involved?
Too Long Lou. Tu Wong Fu. You see, I didn't even realize that till just there. That was good. What's that? Oh, Dorothy says, Rich, in your ex... Rich in your XDM sent a funny. Oh, you sent me a funny. Oh, okay. All right, well, Dorothy, I'll get to that when we get done with this. So I don't want to forget. So how do I... Oh, that's right. I just keep it as a star and I won't forget. Dorothy, thank you. I love a funny. All right, we'll pull it up in a second. Thank you for the $2 super chat. And the mucho gusto generoso, I might add. So, double dose. All right.
Involved in this, we've been having open discussions in multiple media platforms in Congress about UFO, UAP, secrecy, reverse engineering, crash retrievals, all that stuff for 5 years now, or more than 5 years.
Yeah, and where are we? Square one still?
It's out there. People are talking about it.
5 years and no evidence. How do you feel? Check me out.
Is it possible that there are still operatives within different parts of the government that want to put this genie back in the bottle? And the answer is yes.
But the genie isn't out of the bottle. Oh, they're so cute. You just want to put George in your pocket. Right? Just give him a little pet every now and then. I like George. I don't like George because of Corbell right now. But it's not out of the bottle until the evidence comes out. That's the bottle. Just talking, That's been going on for 77 plus years. Me done talk. Me want see. Why'd I do it that way? Right? I mean, why did I go Oriental? Because it sounds funny in my head. That's why.
It is. And they are active now. And they are not done with Dave Grush. We happen to know who's involved and the kinds of things that they are pulling. And it's meant to send a message to scare the shit out of anybody else who might want to step forward.
So let's pull back from right there. We will report that news when we can.
Talking about smearing David Grush because of the PTSD thing. I tell you that nobody cared. PTSD is not new. We know all about it. And anybody who has it, God, I feel for you. It's not fun. No. But he went through his recovery and is fine. That was a while ago. See, I don't like that. I don't like that either. You know, I know he was arrested, not really arrested, but detained and taken to a mental, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, why am I afraid to say it? He was taken literally to a mental health facility. He got treatment, and that's it. Where did he go? A VA hospital or something? Mount Sinai, somebody said. But they can keep him quiet. They can. They really can. All right, Dorothy, let's pull this up. Is it the one from Strange Recon? Hold on, let me make sure, because there's two places you're at. Okay, I guess that is it. Cool. I love it when people in the community speak up. Oh, this is good already. I saw the first 4/10 of a second. All right. It is funny already. It's too short, though. I want it to be longer. It's only seconds. It's 11 seconds. Why couldn't they make it an hour? I'd watch this for an hour. There's some bullshit story. Go.
There's some bullshit story that we met at a Star Trek convention. Yeah, guilty. We actually did meet at a Star Trek convention. There's
Wow. Huh. Yeah, in Weaponized, they talk about where they met. I forget. I was doing laundry. I mean, I get most of what they're saying. I just can't remember that detail because I didn't know I was going to talk about it. But that is funny. Oh, such a liar. Why? And George knows it. George knows it. When I see them together, I don't know. George's body language has changed since episode 1. If you go back and look at it, you'll see the body language is totally different. It looks like he's fighting himself to maintain himself. He just looks like he's about to get unhinged. So, he's always readjusting, crossing his legs. I can't cross mine, but some guys can do that. Guys. All right. Thanks, Dorothy. That was funny. Man, I need to, well, let me save it. That's something we can use again and again and again. Thank you. Saved. Insecure. Nah. I started off the show playing the Lou clip, and then we got Jeremy just lying. Just lying. Some people say we met at a Star Trek convention. Yeah, guilty. Yeah, we met at a Star Trek convention. I mean, yeah, and you know what that is? That is such a useless lie. That lie accomplished nothing. Well, it doesn't matter where they met. It doesn't. But since he's lied, if I knew where it was in the weaponized video, I would get that segment out right away. But it would probably take me a second to get it. All right. How about all right, hold on. I'm going to pull up the weaponized thing. I didn't think I was going to go this route. Hey, usually the shows run smoothly. Here we go. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Shall we? Here we go.
The homework to verify it. We checked out other people going to happen. We knew it'd be at the conference, and we
outside of the intelligence community or government. Now, he has never stepped over a line. But that moment, I can only imagine what you were experiencing when he tells you, I'm going to tell something. It is bombshell. You don't know me, but we knew about him, but you don't know me. I can only imagine what you're thinking.
I don't know if he says it right at the beginning of the show.
Only from 3 key credible witnesses about astonishing events. And in the couple of weeks since then, some dramatic things have happened that we need to talk about regarding our friend Dave Grush. Can you bring up to date our audience who may not have covered this or followed this in great detail, who Dave Grush was and how we know him?
Okay, so I'm emotional. I have a headache, a migraine, a Bob Lazar migraine. So don't ask me anything too hard, like Rogan asked, fucking Bob.
Jazz hands. Hello, jazz hands.
I have a headache, a migraine, a Bob Lazar migraine. So don't ask me anything too hard.
Jazz
hard, like Rogan asked, fucking Bob. We had an episode after that, after we got back, and that was about Commander David Fravor. But now we're going to focus in on David Grush. So with everything said that I got a migraine right now, here we go. We met David Grush in Huntsville, Alabama. He came up to you at a bar. It's so funny. Our greatest moments are like, somebody just comes up to us. Had heard about Dave.
Did you see? They met him at a bar. Now you know why nobody wanted to talk about that. Because didn't Grush have a drinking problem? Interesting. Met at a bar. You didn't hear him say it? Yeah, he did.
We met David Grush in Huntsville, Alabama. He came up to you at a bar.
At a bar.
It's so funny. Our greatest moments are like, somebody just comes up to us. Had heard about Dave. Had not met Dave.
Crazy Eyes Killer. Grush. I mean, come on, man. Look at Knapp. Knapp's even like, this guy, this is not my kind of guy. But he's got a story, and Jeremy seems to like him. All right, I'll talk to you. What are you saying? You can just see the wheels spinning inside George's head. Oh, yeah. Only Grush makes faces like this.
Dave comes up to you. I happen to be filming. That moment is caught on camera. That is the first moment David Grush talked to anybody outside.
That's pretty cool. That's a good story. It is. I guess they were attending the same conference or something, and they were at a hotel which had a bar. And that's where they met. Something like that. It wasn't like a hangout, like, it wasn't one of those, I got 2 sex on the beach. That's all I remember. And a couple of Long Islands for the ladies. I wanted sex on the beach. Oh, me too. Oh, hey. Those were all the good lines. Huh? Isn't that how people pick up? Isn't that how you do it now? All right. Well, now you know. That's how they met him. And it's kind of interesting. It's a good story. It's good ripping good yarn. It wasn't a bad episode either. But let me pull something up. Let me pull this up for you. I am looking. There we go. Let's do that. Let me get this. Okay, got it. Now I need this. There it is. That gush. That's as big as it's going to get. Huh? Well, let's save it. And we'll put it as what it is. I like that. And now I can bring it up. And there it is. Now we go back to this, and we're going to talk about this. No, yes. Thank you. There we go. So, the subcommittee hearing, that was just a few weeks ago. Here's the picture that went viral, and it's quite interesting. Let's just say that. For a couple of reasons. I mean, it really is strange. Red tie. Red tie. Red tie. No, that guy doesn't count. Blue tie. Blue tie. By 2 guys who look at each other. And Grush looks like he just swallowed the canary. Literally swallowed a canary. It's very possible one flew in that big bulbous head mouth area. But then, not only is this strange with the 2 blue tie guys, and then you got the red tie guy. Usually, I wouldn't bother with this, but I find it interesting because he is standing out, and everybody knows what a red tie goes for. That's right, $20. No. Rodney Dangerfield? No. Donald Trump. But I don't think that's what this is either. So forget that. Get that out of your head right now. But I like what they did. They gave him the red tie and told these 2 guys to wear the blue. He is our star. You, window dressing. You guys were the opening act for Grush. if you understand what I mean. So I thought that was interesting. The ties, you know, the blue, whatever color this is, fuchsia, the blue namia. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. In a minute, I'll get to those. I'll get to the supers in a minute. And then you got in the back row. Well, the row behind the front row. Behind the crazy canary eating guy and the two-tie blue guys, you've got Corbell. Forget who that guy is, but I think he was the mayor or something of that town. I don't know. Whatever I can't remember. And then you got Knapp, who, by the way, is wearing a red tie. But so is this guy. And somewhat maroonish there. So I didn't really want to dig too much into the tie conspiracy. You know? Is it only Knapp that stands with Grush? I thought all government guys. But I see the way these two are looking at each other. Look at the face. Tight-lipped. Swallowed the canary. Kind of loose and thinks he's in charge. I like how David Fravor's a little too confident right there. Because their hands are folded. Their hands are folded. He didn't fold them. You've got to know when to fold them. Know when to hold them. Know when to walk away. So you don't die. Nah, you know, I'm just joshing with you guys about the hands. I'm just playing about that. But I do think it's interesting, though, that this guy here, Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, I think it's interesting. They were almost part of the witness testimony part. How? Oh, they talked about that in Weaponized. I'm not going to go looking for that snippet. But they were going to talk about their conversations with Grush about the UFOs and aliens or something. It was something like that. So now they want to put their names, these egomaniacs, want to not only sit in the front row where they have no right to be of a subcommittee hearing on UFOs. Not only that, they get privy to skiff meetings. How? I have no idea. And they were almost witness testimony at the hearing. And they haven't seen anything. With their own eyes. They saw nothing with their own eyes. But the egos want their signatures and their verbiage put on a document. So 100 years from now, even 1,000, kids can look back and say, this is when disclosure started. And Corbell and Knapp were at the top of it all. That's all that's about. You know what? Goof on. That's the history of ufology. I don't know. Houston, we've got a problem. I am just soaking now in dinner. All right. I'm getting a little bit wet. Oh, yeah, it's seeping now. I've got seepage. Hold on, I got a video just in time. Guys, take a look at this. I'll be right back with clean clothes and a dry lap. Ladies.
Cases that I've covered before, but this time I've got new illustrations, new drawings, new full color renderings that I thought justified kind of a revisit on some of these cases. So let's go ahead and jump right in here and we'll move to the first case. This is C-119 flying boxcar, Sierra Madre Valley, Mexico, prior to 1951. Now I believe it was around 1948 where this actually took place. And you can see here in this picture, this is an actual C-119 flying boxcar. Source for this was UFO Crash Retrievals, page 32. And if you look at the bottom here, we're talking about a 9-foot diameter disc-shaped craft, and at least 2 ET bodies were recovered. So we've got this highway engineer, he's this construction engineer, and he was asked to assist in a crash retrieval. Now, question is, how do we know what the diameter of the saucer was in this particular retrieval? And I'm going to take you to the next slide here and explain how we calculated this. So if you look at the inside cargo bay of a C-119, research indicates that the interior thickness of the cargo bay is 9 feet 10 inches wide. That means the craft can't be any more than 9 feet in diameter. That allows 5 inches of clearance on either side. So that's how we gauged what the diameter of the craft was. And we'll move forward here. And now you can see coming into view here, Rudy Gardea's drawing of the craft being loaded into aft cargo bay doors. You can see the clamshell doors have been opened and they're loading this craft in. So this construction engineer was asked to assist in this crash retrieval. And at this point, we'll go ahead and move on to the next full color rendering here. And now you see this is by Joseph Wraith. The retrieval operation is now in full swing. We've got some bodies kind of in the foreground here. The clamshell doors have been opened up, and now you can see them on this ramp moving the craft into the aft bay of the C-119. I'm going to zoom in here so that you can kind of get a better look at what we're dealing with here. And now you can see this retrieval operation. I just wonder what it would be like to actually be here. Can all these crash retrievals be true? Are these witnesses lying to us, or are they telling us the truth? There just seems to be way too many people coming forward, and in historical times too. They can't all be lying to us. They just can't all be lying to us. So,
all right. Sorry about that. And I forgot to bring a napkin. Your mother's ass. Give me a sec. Why did I do that?
As a VIP, and he's mentioned in the chapter in the book within the Leonard Stringfield dictation notes, and also within his status reports that have been published into one volume. And this VIP keeps being mentioned in this particular volume, and we're going to identify who this person is. But let me just hit you with what was said.
Give me a napkin. You already got a hanky? Anybody got a hanky?
They were handsome.
Should always have a hanky.
Little men with fine features and beautiful.
I didn't close the bottle lid all the way, and when I banged it on the desk, it all came out.
They were burnt black, and
got
when
all
I touched
over
the
me.
face of one of them, the skin came off.
I had to go
under
take
my
a quick
fingers
shower.
as though it had been cooked. So, is this another one of these?
You know, I know I was talking over it. All right, where are we? Let me get to the supers. I saw a few. Moonlicht. Psych was best floor of hospital during C-19. Good. The psych ward. I bet it was. You know, when I was in the hospital, oh yeah, I heard screams when they would roll me to like a different place to get x-rayed or shimmied. And you'd hear like, no! Oh, it's gonna hurt! I know it's gonna hurt, but it's only for a second. No, don't do it anymore. I can't handle it. You know, you hear that stuff down the hallway and it's fading. Oh, I'm gonna die. No, I'm gonna die. You guys are killing me. It sucks. Hospitals, you know, people go there to get well, but they also go there and sadly expire. But I'd rather be in a hospital or in my own bed. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I like hospitals. The beds suck. They could really upgrade just a little bit more for a good mattress that for those of us who have to stay there for many days, you know, a backache, Anyway, enough about that. It could be worse. Moonlick, thank you. $2.22. Egg gouge all over my own face. No. I told you. Ed Choufette. Mr. Choufet, thank you for the $1 super dono. It's the love and it's the continuing support. I gotta stop pointing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I'm not doing jazz hands. I mean, really. Thank you, Mr. Choufet. Mr. Ed Choufet. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, right. Okay. And Gareth Smith with a £2, 2 quid. How's it hanging? All right. Could be worse. How's it hanging? Over there. Thank you very much for asking. Yeah. Doing all right. Hey, free camera trick. Oh, last night it happened again. Last night, what time? I was on the phone with Third Phase. Had to be, I think, at 2:30. No, it was around 12:45. No, about 1 o'clock. And this, I need that to get sharper. There we go. Thank you, Gareth. Appreciate you, man. Mucho gusto generoso. Eggush. I think that was your first super chat. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Gareth Smith, for the £2, 2 quid super chat. All over Mr. Forgetful. Hey. That was a nice Gareth Smith. Who's this guy? Hey, Lantonio. $10, man. Thank you. Hey, fam. Great to catch a bit of the live show. Chemo's been rough on my sleep schedule, but I'm always thinking about my Goofonian family. Love you, Richie and fam. Hey, Rich, I tried to reach you. Oh, you don't have the new phone number. All right. Oh, fudge. Yeah, I got a new phone. What, about 6 weeks ago? All right, man. Damn it. Yeah, okay. I'll text you. And thank you for the $10. You didn't have to do that. Mucho gusto, generoso. And everybody give a nice alien bless to our good friend Lantonio on his quick recovery through chemo. What is it? 3rd time? Fudge, man. Well, there it is, man. We're sending you as much energy. I know I am. Thanks, bro. All the best to you. Glenn Croy throwing down $10. Yes, it's a super dono in the right color. Thank you, Mr. Croy. It's GC, everybody, throwing down a 10 spot as the Tasmanian devil. I used to be able to do the Tasmanian devil voice, but I'm not going to do it now. I'm afraid my fleeth will start flying. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Mucho gusto, generoso. My goodness. Here I am crying about spilled milk. Literally. All right. I had this yesterday. I didn't play it. I really didn't care to anymore. But in this clip, Rose Cuckold highlights the significance of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the nation's highest-ranking military officer, not being fully briefed on the extent of the UAP issue. Ooh, the horror, the horror. Why isn't he listening to what they're saying? How come nobody's briefing? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Come on, cursor. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's all I can't. All right. Sorry you had to see that.
Important for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's responsible for advising the president on how to respond to any potential ICBM attack. Don't you think it's important that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff know about this program?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, wow. You would think so. They know. They just don't care. Why can't you think like me? Don't you get it? They don't care. Not everything's roses and about UFOs. Stop grifting.
Exactly.
This is how out of control this is. And I've had people raise with me as an issue of concern that very senior people in the Pentagon and the intelligence community are not briefed into this material. This is why it matters. We've never been at a more dangerous time in world history as far as nuclear weapons go. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists clock is closer to midnight now than at any other time in history, including the Cuban Missile Crisis. So the fact that it's being kept improperly from Congress and it's being kept improperly from certain presidents and improperly from certain key defense officials is absolutely outrageous. And I think there needs to be a reckoning about this. It's beginning to look like the president and the executive leadership of the United States are incompetent in their failure to do the right thing and properly investigate this matter.
I can't help but chuckle. You know, because in a way he's right. But don't you think we have more pressing matters at hand? I mean, what's the rush? I mean, it's already been 80 years. I mean, what's another few decades? Really? See, they're so used to getting what they want, some of these people. People with big egos don't stop till they get what they want. A lot of them feel that that's a form of success, when in fact, you may be successful, but you've made everybody around you miserable for your ego, for your just how you act and how you're pushy and you don't go by the system because you want to be maverick and you want to do something nobody's ever done before and you want to do it at the fastest rate possible for the most money you can get it for. That's the ego of a Ross cuckold, Jeremy Corbell. Now James Fox is included in that. They think everything revolves around them and what they think should happen. Yeah, of course. But guess what? You're kind of new to this, Rose. You just got here and you're already making demands. Like he knows what's going on. He knows, you know, the plight of ufology so deeply because he's been a part of it for 5 minutes. But I know people who know things, Yeah, me too. And I trust my people more than I trust your people. Unbelievable egos. Yeah. Now, you could look at me and say, that's not really fair. He just wants the government in the U.S. to acknowledge that this is going on. Well, look, man, maybe they don't want this president to be involved with such conversation. Or the last one. Or the next one. And I don't blame them. They're temporary. They're rogue. Biden can say anything at any time. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. And Trump is a loose cannon. I think Trump could do it, but I not even me, I wouldn't trust him. So it's the ego. That's why. And the government, has an ego too. And you know what their record is, I think? I think it's, about 1,000,000 to 1. I think they've won like 1,000,000 cases. Everybody's, I'm joking, of course. But when you talk about ufology and you bring the government in, and now you want to bring in the politics of it, well, it's convoluted. You're going to get convolution. It's a new word. Check it out. Convolution. It's when everything's are convoluted because of their conversation. That's not bad, actually. That's not what it is, though. So don't. Convolution. CONVOLUSATION. I just find it funny that Ross Cuckold thinks he knows what's going on behind closed doors at the White House. They haven't informed President. They haven't informed him. He kind of reminds me of Thurston Howell III. Gillibrand, my boy. All right. Next topic of conversation. Your government is involved. Investigative journalist on UFO cover-ups. Piers Morgan talked with, guess who? Jeremy Corbell again on this. And, yeah. I don't know. All right. It's here. I must have thought it was good to watch. I'll play it. What the hell? I don't know if I even talked about anything, really. What did I do tonight? Yeah? Did we make a dent in truthology for ufology tonight? Have we changed anything? Is anybody listening? No. Maybe it's me. Maybe I only know one way to do things, and that's just the way it feels. And it Brett S. Hey man, $5 super dono. I was just staring at it. I'm like, wait, it's new. Thank you. 15 minutes ago you put it down. I can't thank you enough. That's $5. It's a super dono. Brett S. is a continuing supporter of Goof On. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the support as always. Yeah, I don't know what to do, Brett. You know? I don't know what to do, man. You know, we got egos too. You know. We want to win. But I'm on a losing side. In 20-something, 15, 16, you know, I left this field. And things just moved on. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. Let me ask you this. Would it matter if Corbell dropped out of ufology? Would it matter if Grush just faded away? Would it matter if we never had another whistleblower congressional meeting hearing subcommittee thingy again? And the answer is no evidence. Without evidence, we're spinning our wheels. I don't need to keep getting history lessons from people who lie. They want to rewrite ufology's history books with lies? Jeremy Corbell's in 30% of ufology in the last 10 years, 8 years, whatever, since TTSA came around pretty much. And the Bob Lazar film came out in 2019. Jeremy Corbell has been nonstop. Doesn't matter. Look, Elizondo left everybody high and dry to go write a book and maybe get into shape. Nah, I'm joking. He's writing a book or wrote it. And nothing changed. Things just kept going. Secret still the secret. According to George, well, the genie's out of the bottle. No, it's been out of the bottle from day one. Roswell. If you want to live that route, if you want to believe that, that's when they started. Makes sense. Thanks, Brett. It makes sense. And ever since then, the government have been using the excuse to get out of anything that's military-ish or alien-ish. Because nobody believes anybody. There were so many sightings in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they slowly diminished when cable TV came out. I'm not joking. I'm talking about alien abduction stories. All of these things were being dwindled, ridiculed, made fun of because of what was being done in movies, magazines at the time, TV shows. That every alien that came to this planet was bad. Until E.T. Right? Wasn't it? E.T. I know there's probably some Twilight Zone episode, but I'm talking about a full-length feature film. And then after E.T., because we were still living through Alien, and I think, Alien, the original came out in 77, I believe. And then the next Alien didn't come out until 86, Aliens. So in between, Poltergeist came out, I think in 1980, 81. E.T. came out, I think it was 82. Yeah, I was 13 or 14. Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out in 77. And then the TV shows and everything else about man leaving Earth, looking for another world that's like ours. But they had to be a colony in space and deal with the, Cylons and all that shit. But it came in, it changed the way we thought about aliens and UFOs. When TV shows switched to that, Battlestar Galactica was in, 70s, but I'm talking when it really got nutty, I believe was in the 50s and 60s. That's when TV was still new, fresh, black and white. Color wasn't even out. And people were enthralled by this boob tube that I believe back then they would say anything to get on TV. But something happened along the way in the late 70s, early 80s, HBO, Showtime, CNN, Fox, all these now cable shows and TV shows started piling up on what was called cable television, where, you get like, I don't know, what was it at the time, 50 channels? And now you can get, what, a couple hundred? It's expensive, though, man. But what happened was everybody started going on TV, and then once cable came out, it started to dwindle away. I'm talking about the abductions and the stories. There were talk shows that came out. They had the Gulf Breeze guy on Oprah. We saw on Larry King, we saw a bunch of ufologists. John Mack, I believe, was there. Doctor, whatever you want to call him. J. Allen Hynek. They did. They put these people on TV, on talk shows, talking about the existence of aliens and UFOs. And I'm talking 40 years ago. I watched it all with you, because the majority of my audience is 40 to 65. So I know you know what I'm talking about. I feel growing up when we did, with the entertainment industry pumping out aliens as being aggressive, tyrannical beings that, they want our blood, they just want to take over the planet, whatever excuse you want to give them for attacking planet Earth, it was thrown out there. And at this point in our lives, right, don't you feel like, so what? Like you've been destigmatized of the entire thing? No. All I know is when I got into this field, I was just like a regular Joe out there. I loved ufology. I loved UFOs. I looked at every book. I looked at every video. I tried to memorize everything about every one. And then got into the field. First year was okay. And then after that, it all went down. I saw what it was. Ufology isn't about getting out the best sightings. The ufology we have with the advent of the internet, after cable television, the internet revived ufology in such a way it was pretty much number 1, 2, or 3 in the search engines every day, beneath porn and more porn. And it's still a competitor today. But what has happened? People have gotten destigmatized. Is that what it is? And now they think aliens and humans are going to go to war. That's what the public thinks. There's some aliens that are here or coming here, and they're a threat, because that's all they heard. So that's where we're at. And people don't want to come out anymore and talk about their abductions. They don't want to come out to the masses anymore like they used to. Yeah, there's people out there, diehards, who, probably run the podcast circuit. I've never heard of them that would talk to us about their experience. Sure, I can name 3 people right now that would love to come on and share their experience. And they'll be on eventually, but it's like the whistleblowers. Yeah, it's super interesting, but where's your evidence? And that's really where I'm going. After all we've been through, been watching on TV, movies, cable television, the transition from wanting to be eager to speak about your experience to I don't want to talk to anybody, that only took a few years. And I cannot think why. Why did that happen? Oh, yeah. Because the community is batshit crazy. Yeah, I'm in the community. Yeah. It is. It's batshit crazy. And that has been consistent from day one. And when you call somebody out for doing something wrong, all hell breaks loose. There's no in between. There's no warm-ups. There's no let's talk about this. It's how dare you call me a liar? I'm going to take you out. I mean, it's a violent world. And I love it!
Welcome back to Uncensored, now to UFOs and revisiting this topic. In fact, because this time last week we invited two experts on to talk about the recent congressional hearing in the US, which included testimony from a former intelligence official who claimed the US has possession of intact and partially intact alien vehicles. I actually asked to do this topic while covering this Seek for Peers because I find it really interesting. And last week's interview didn't go as planned. Sometimes in live televisions, that happens. We ran short of time to get to ask the questions I wanted. We got some feedback from the community that follows the guests that we invited on back onto this show.
Rosanna, I really appreciate you. I've heard that you are smart and that you listen to the public and that you are trying to report the news. So let's reframe this conversation. I think that you have been unfairly attacked on social media due to our last discussion. You know, I am mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. If you remember that movie.
I remember it very well, Jeremy. Network.
Yeah. Questions are weapons. And so that's why I'm back on. But let's talk about why I'm back on. Last time.
Holy crap. Did you just hear what he said? That is absolutely awful. Awful. And people need to keep replaying this over and over and over. I'm going to make sure I heard that right. Questions are weapons?
Hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. If you remember that movie.
I remember it very well, Jeremy. Network.
Yeah. Questions are weapons.
Now I understand a little more. Okay, remember the last person who got mad because people were asking questions? Ziegfugel! Da! Remember? He was upset because people kept asking for evidence, Stephen Greenstreet mainly, kept poking him for evidence and he never gave it to him. He kept giving him like bullshit stuff and excuses. Ziegfugel. And then Fugel goes on a show and says, these people who want, ask for evidence, they're just slimy little pigs. Slimy, smelly pigs. And that all we want to do is ruin the investigation of what? The lies? I don't get it. But I can't believe Jeremy just said that's two things that we have that Jeremy said that don't make sense. Remember he said ufology is not real. UFOs are not real. Remember when he said that? And then he says this?
I am mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. If you remember that movie.
I remember it very well, Jeremy. Network.
Yeah. Questions are weapons.
God, that's dangerous. Let's see what he says after that.
And so that's why I'm back on. But let's talk about why I'm back on. Last time.
He just skips right over it. Questions are weapons. Anybody who says that has something to hide. That's somebody who has something to hide. Because who would think that way? If you were a truthful person, you can ask me anything if I'm a truthful person. But if I was a liar and I know I'm lying, I don't want to talk to you. Your questions are weapons. This is like the biggest Freudian slip on purpose I've seen in a long time. And that's twice in 2 weeks, Jeremy's done this. Said something that really puts a focus on his real intent to be in ufology. He doesn't believe UFOs are real. Well, you know what I mean. Evidence and everything. That's what he meant, right? You got that one. And questions are weapons.
It was like a Twilight Zone movie mixed with like The Wizard of Oz.
Just bad.
It is like that film, Don't Look Up. I was sitting there thinking, what are they doing? Saying tinfoil hat. What are they doing playing the X-Files music? We are so far past that. But this is a battle for information right now. And I said, so put on.
This is a battle for information. A battle?
Your battle helmet. So let's.
when you have to make something more exciting than it needs to be by saying stuff like that, using those adjectives that are unnecessary, really, you're full of shit. You're selling snake oil sales. Wait, what is it called? You're selling oil to a snake salesman? I forget. All right. I know I'm picking on everything. I'm so mean.
Talk about that real quick. What I meant to try to talk with you about is that this is an international issue, and no matter what is found.
All right. We don't need to go on. All right. Let's get to something a little more positive. The following video is of Senator Gillibrand speaking about the UFO and recent developments. This was reported yesterday. I never got to it, but people are just going nuts. I don't know why. Let's find out.
I started meeting with pilots, and pilots were very upset because they kept...
I mean, why are we having the upper influx on our voice? What is it called?
running into these drones and other aircraft that they were really worried that they would crash into. And they kept giving the DOD the data, the videos, the information, and saying, what's going on? This is a UAP. You got to do something about it. Whose is it? What is it? And in some instances, they retaliated against the service members, the pilots, and said, you're just crazy about aliens, and, we're not going to take you seriously anymore. And it ruined their careers. Well, I was chair of the personnel subcommittee, and I said, that's not acceptable. These are men and women who are serving bravely for our country, and they're just reporting what they see. You need to look at it and analyze it and figure out whose it is. Well, we set up the office 3 years ago, and we fully funded it in the defense bill. And this is fascinating because we don't know who's making these types of aircraft. I'm sure some of it's China. I'm sure some of it's Russia, and I'm sure some of it's Iran.
Okay. I'm sure some of it's China. I'm sure some of it's Russia. And I'm sure some of it's from Iran. What? What? But not all of it. Just some of it is from China, Russia, and Iran. So far away, I couldn't get away. Don't you think that's a weird statement when everybody's saying it's not China, it's not Russia, and never heard about Iran getting into this. But there they are.
They are at the forefront of drone technology. We already know one weather balloon was Chinese, and they're spying.
A weather balloon is not a drone. That transition into the drone, I'm being a dick.
Spying on our bases, on our nuclear sites, and overhead. So I made this office. I created it. It's up and running. I made sure the DOD, we fully funded it because they didn't even want to fund it. And we will get to the bottom of it. But did anybody watch the hearings last week? We had some strange testimony. We had some pilots say, we saw this craft. It's a Tic Tac. Here's the video. It had strange flying patterns. We don't understand what it was.
Go back a second.
Last week, we had some strange testimony. We had some pilots say, we saw this craft. It's a Tic Tac. Here's the video. It had.
Here's the video. Pilots didn't record it. Is that a Freudian slip? Is that something that came out in a skiff? Was she privy to some information that Fravor didn't really tell us the truth about his helmet cam being turned on? Or is she talking about, here's the proof from Underwood? Isn't he the guy who caught it on radar? Cahill? Who was it? I think it was Underwood. I just find, details matter. Details matter. And what she said didn't seem truthful.
Had some strange testimony. We had some pilots say, we saw this craft. It's a Tic Tac. Here's the video. It had strange flying patterns.
Here's the video. Yeah, all right.
We don't understand what it was. Those pilots should not be discriminated against. That information's there. And then the second guy, I think, was in Navy intelligence, and he said, well, I was in charge of looking at all the existing UAP programs, and I talked to everybody I could and found out what I could. And I talked to a bunch of people who said, not only do we have a program, but it's super secret, and we have dead aliens, and we have crashed aircraft. What? I don't know what this is. They will not tell me about it. I cannot get to...
He never said that. He never said we have dead aliens. You see how they skew shit and get it wrong and don't pay attention to the details? He never said that. It was implied, but he said dead pilots. Could be anything. Man, she's really screwed up. It's so bad. And, she's supposed to be on our side, I think. You never know anymore.
To the bottom of it, I cannot get any data and information. So we don't know if it exists. We don't know if that's real. Those individuals will have to testify in front of the Aero office.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have to testify because that's the only way we'll get the truth out of them? Is that what she means? Because they're going to put their hand on the little Bible. Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and say, I won't lie, I won't lie. Yes, you will, I know. Or...
So far, whistleblowers have been reluctant to testify to the Aero office because it's part of the Department of Defense. They're afraid of retaliation. They're afraid of lots of things that they cannot come forward. So we made sure...
They're afraid of lots of things, but I can't come up with any of them. All I know is that they're scared. I can't come up with any. I don't know. It's lots. You look it up.
In the Aero provisions that it has a whistleblower.
It's like when you ask liberals, why is Trump racist? Oh, you're racist. Yeah, but why? Give me one example. What? Show me where's he racist? When he hates black people. He does. Give me one example. Well, George Floyd, he didn't put his knee on him. It goes on. And then they walk away. Where are you going? Where are you going? You got nothing. Trump's a misogynist? He hates women? Give me a reason why. Well, what gives you that idea? And they walk away. Now, just because a guy said, hey, you walk around, as a celebrity, you can just grab you can grab a muffin anytime you want. And nobody would really care. Except for their husbands. Come on.
Protection. We made sure that if you sign a non-disclosure agreement that you can come forward and share your testimony. But how many people saw Oppenheimer?
Oh, I forgot to watch it.
Oppenheimer is about developing the bomb during World War II. And all those scientists who worked on that project had to sign non-disclosure agreements. And what I've heard about those non-disclosure agreements is that because it was wartime, it had provisions that said, including if you disclose under penalty of death. And so the big worry is that people who sign non-disclosure agreements to work on any type of program for the military, that it had language in there that made them think that that was true. So there's a lot of fear. And so
there was language in there. I can't listen to this crap anymore. There was language in there to make them, there was language in there that wasn't true that made them scared. Oh, you mean the part where it says, oh, you could be killed? That's the part that scared them? So that's a lie? They don't do that anymore? Anyone? Very, very naive thing to say. Very naive thing to say. And then we got people out there who think because Morgan Freeman is doing the voice, the narration on the SETI movie, I believe. There's a collaboration with the SETI Institute for a disclosure announcement. Wait, when Morgan Freeman collaborates with the SETI Institute for a disclosure announcement, one can't help but wonder, is a groundbreaking revelation on the horizon? Oh, you're serious? Oh, check this out. All right.
Finding life beyond Earth is no longer a dream. It's a discovery that will likely be made during our lifetime. And it will change everything. We've been here for more than 36 years, at the forefront of a quest that many consider science fiction.
Mars is the closest planet where we might find the possibilities of alien life.
We are home to over 100 explorer scientists.
It just takes your breath away.
Our purpose is singular.
It's kind of best to understand what you have in your own backyard as you're looking up into the cosmos.
To understand the origins and prevalence of life in the universe.
What we are doing is to try to understand, are we alone in the solar system?
Why do we pursue our mission? Because the discovery of life beyond Earth will lay the framework for humanity's next steps to the stars.
Oops. I'm sorry, I shut it down too soon. Apparently there's a few more seconds left.
We are trying to understand why we even exist.
We are the SETI Institute.
Not a movie. It's Morgan Freeman doing a voiceover for what may be the biggest announcement in the history of our planet, that life has been discovered through a signal of radio waves. Right. For an alien species to intercept a signal like that, they would somehow have to have the same technology available, right? I mean, what are the odds that they would come up with something that can detect radio waves? I don't know. You know, they would have to, like, these aliens would have to be existing at the same time we are now, right? Not 10,000 years ago, now. So that would mean they would have a way to hear something they shouldn't be able to hear, because those signals just got into interstellar space, right? It only took, 70, 80, 100 years? I don't know, however long TV was out. I Love Lucy. Everybody go, oh, good, I Love Lucy, yeah. Oh, that's right. They always talk about the Olympics. The Munich Olympics, was it, 1938? Where they showed the Hitler dude with his little mustache and everything. Remember that? Oh, man. There's a lot of drama going on in the field. You know, I was going to talk about it, but I'm not. Let's just say this. It ain't about us. All right. About 17 years ago, I think it was 2005 or 6, Dan Aykroyd was in a movie And it was made by, his name is David something. And the movie was awful. The direction was awful. It was just hard to watch. They did super extreme close-ups on, oh my God, I think I have it. Here it is. David Sereda. Oh, hold on a second. I had some things on there. This. And it's a Dan Aykroyd Unplugged on UFOs. And David Sereda gets right up in his grill. Then he lights up a cigar or something, acting like a pompous fool. Dan Aykroyd. And Dan Aykroyd was supposedly has some video, a UFO video, that he wanted to put into a documentary. And I think he was supposed to do it with David Sereda. But after that documentary failed miserably, we haven't heard from Dan Aykroyd. And Dan Aykroyd said he's a UFO investigator and an experiencer. But yet, he just lied. Just blatantly lied. Said, I'm going to do everything I can to show this video. I'm going to be in this field. I remember everything. Well, he's back. Dan Aykroyd. I've seen 4 UFOs. Oh, now you're coming out when things are really hot and juicy. Terrible. Just a terrible, 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 terrible person. Really. And you know what, Dan? Not that funny of a guy. Really not that funny. I grew up laughing and I used to say, why am I laughing? Bill Murray, who also wasn't as funny either, but was funnier than him. Hey, I'm just saying, that's me. I think Bill Murray's the worst. And Dan Aykroyd. They're terrible. Although Bill Murray has turned out to be a really good actor. So we'll give him that.
I've seen 4. So 2 in a high altitude.
Did you see the shoulder shrug? I've seen 4. Watch.
I've seen 4. So
2
in a high altitude sighting and 1 fairly close at the farm a couple of years ago. And then.
Oh, I love the looking in the distance like he's still remembering it. You see that bullshit stare? Look at this shit. I'm an actor. I'm going to use this to the best of my abilities. I'm going to look out in the distance and remember what I saw back in 1908.
A couple of years ago. And then 1 really, really weird one in Montreal.
Oh, the serious look. The eyebrows go down. He turns and looks directly at the interviewer or co-host. Oh, this one, I tell you, this one was, oh boy, I tell you, if I wasn't drinking.
23rd floor of the Queen Elizabeth Hotel. I'm sitting there with some friends and I see this.
Oh my God. Did you see it? Did you see it? When he says the words friends, his nose shrugs more than any nose I've ever seen. Watch.
And I see this.
Whoops, I went right past it.
I'm sitting there with some friends and
see it?
Friends and
I passed right over it, dill hole. There it is. That's the one. His friends. Painful. Painful. He wasn't with friends. He was with people he didn't like that he called friends. That's the look. Or he didn't like, or he lied. But his actions tell us something different.
Some friends and I see this. It looked like an air mattress, but 100 feet long by 50 feet wide, tipped over with the bulbs on the bottom, and it was moving slowly, and just it stopped, and then it turned, and it went out over the river, and we were going, what's that thing, Look,
almost, embarrassed that he just told that story, the looking down, the not getting the reaction he thought he was going to get. He feels like, like you feel like there's pressure on your neck and your hair starts standing up. That's what he's going through right there. He doesn't know if he should have said what he just said, but he said it, and now he's dealing with it. And we're seeing it firsthand. It's amazing what the body does. Look at his mouth. Let me open it up. Tight-lipped. We've seen that with David Grush. We've seen that with Greer. We see it with everybody that has something to hide or has to be literally tight-lipped about.
MUFON, MUFON.com.
MUFON. Not MUFON. Mew. It's now spelled MEWFON. MUFON.
You want to get on there? There's sightings every week. There's pictures, photographs. People have cameras now. Lord Hill Norton, who was a British Defense Staff executive.
Lord Hill Norton. I always got to mention the Lord when I talk about this shit.
Executive said that we're being visited.
Credibility. Say Lord.
By 23 different species in 23 different kinds of ships. You know,
23 different species and 23 different types of ships. That sounds made up to me. Line from Crop Circle song. No. That was a line from the movie Signs, which you watched this morning.
You know, I'm not alone in this. You know, this is, you know, there's Aviator, the Lawrence Rockefeller, the great.
I'm not alone in this. I'm not alone. Aviators. Yeah, aviators. They're in this too.
He would watch these things come down and park in front of his house up in Aykroyd here, up the Hudson River. And they would wink at him, and he finally had to say, what are these things? And so he did a study, the Rockefeller report, and he went around basically paid some investigators to go around to sheriffs and law enforcement and pilots and get their stories. And if you want to Google a good one, Fortenberry Nash, Miami Herald, 1947, they saw 8 discs. They were flying a Capital Airlines plane from Miami, and it made the Miami papers. You know, so there's thousands and thousands of people have seen. John Mack was a Harvard psychiatrist who was studying the concept of abductions when he died.
Mention somebody's really smart. John Mack. He was a doctor. Yeah, very good. Keep going. Go with that. I don't know how old this is, but he looks good for 79.
And he wrote a book about it called Abduction. And there's a great movie about what he was working on at the end of his life. It's called The Aerial Phenomenon. And there were some school kids in Zambia, and they went out for recess.
Zambia. Not Zambia. Not Zambuca. Zambia. The only asshole to say things differently than everybody else. So Corbell-like.
There were about 40 of them, and 2 orbs landed with creatures, and they came out and interacted with the children. And when they came back into class, they were animated, they were excited, they were disturbed.
Is that what happened?
Parents and the teachers were, what happened out there? So now they've gone back 20 years later just to re-interview these witnesses, and it's really a compelling piece of evidence.
This is 10 years ago then. Really compelling, really compelling evidence. Really. Oh, boy. Not a big fan of Aykroyd. Just go on a show, tell everybody you saw something, and then throw out a few big names and a few books you might have read along the way, and all of a sudden, you know what you're talking about. Sean Cahill. We don't talk about her much, but what a bitch. Oh, it's a guy? Well, he acts like a girl. Sean Cahill's dangerous. Yeah, I'm saying it. The guy's a little dangerous, in my opinion, from the stories I've heard. I wouldn't want to be around him. He's an emotional wreck. But he says, and I'll pull it up for you just so you know I'm not making it up. It's a John Greenwald tweet, by the way. So it says, we all make choices. I will continue to not respect those who project negative intentions, play the fool, are just asking questions. There it is again. Or otherwise participate in a carnival of immaturity. Yeah, that's coming from the guy who speaks, I can't even. By all means, wallow where you feel the most included. I wish Sean Cahill would just go away. Here it is again. People who are just asking questions. What are they afraid of? This is amazing to me. What are you afraid of? Well, John Greenwald says, I see a growing number of people ridiculing those who really are just asking questions. And it traces back to those attempting to cast a negative light on anyone who dares to question them. Don't fall for it. Ask as many as you'd like. Stay respectful, but never stop asking. Thank God John Greenwald's on our side. Thank God. That's all I can say. Isn't it amazing? Why do these left ufologists hate questions? I know the answer. Do you? All right, you want to know what the answer is? Because they don't know. They don't have answers for your questions. So it stresses them out. It makes them feel rushed. It brings the anxiety and the PTSD out of them. Next thing you know, you're talking to some crazed lunatic who says he's going to kill you. All for asking questions. You're attacking me. All I asked was, where's the evidence? How dare you? I told you what we have. You didn't say you had anything. You said, da-da-da-da-da. I want to know where the evidence is. Oh, come on. I'll give you an example. I think I could show you an example right now. Let me show you one example. And this was going to be in the members video for tonight. I don't want to lose anybody. I'm not against the left. I'm not against the right. I play independent ball. All I do is talk about the things I see. And if it just happens to be on the left, it is. If it just happens to be on the right, it is. And I've made fun of plenty of people on the right. This guy just says that she's a racist. I was talking about this earlier, and she says, give me some facts. Tell me why I'm a racist. Here's the answer.
You believe in Donald Trump?
Do you support Joe Biden?
Yes. Okay.
Do you not think he's racist for all of the things that he has said?
I think that there have been things that he has said that may have been racist.
So since you support Joe Biden, are you racist?
No. You are a white woman with blonde hair.
Yeah?
That's racist. You are racist. Man. You can be racist against certain groups. And yes, you might be a sellout. You might be whatever.
Oh my God. I'm glad that I know that if I don't agree with you, I'm a sellout and I'm not good enough for my Latinos and I'm not good enough for my father, for my grandfather that escaped Cuba.
That's a pretty good video. I was going to go over that. Sadly, I blew the... Now you don't have to watch it. But, yeah, in the what I have planned for the members section is to talk about the things I can't talk about here. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. This is a ufology show. What I'm going to do with the members is a little bit behind the scenes of maybe my thoughts and values. If you care to watch, I mean, that's... Members want that shit. You guys want that special video, those special things about the person you watch every day to find out a little more about them. Am I wrong? Either that or more content, and it's coming. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this is the kind of reaction you get when you ask questions. They get angry. They start smacking themselves. They say hypocritical things like, you're racist if you vote for Donald Trump. Silly, isn't it? But when you ask them, where's your proof? So many people have died. Did this many percent of black people have died, shot, killed by cops? How is Trump racist? He doesn't give a shit about the Latinos. He didn't want to build a wall. Do you know why he wanted to build a wall? I can't talk. I'm not getting into this with you. Anytime you bring up the facts and start asking those questions and people react like that, like Sean Cahill would act, from what I heard, they've got something to hide. And in this field, we see everything that is wrong with ufology. Everything. It's all right here. They're wrong. They're both in on it. They're in on it. Whether or not they saw something, we still don't have evidence. And I am not going to keep sitting here, yes you are, day after day, listening to whistleblowers tell me something that we already heard. You're going to do it and you're going to love it. Unfortunately, I am. We're all going to be here. We're all going to be watching. We're all going to be waiting for the evidence to drop. What scares me is that any evidence that drops is not going to be good enough. I'll tell you what it needs to be. It needs to be something that we can tell is not man-made. That would be exciting. How they do that? I mean, if they have the video of the UFO coming 50 feet within the F-18 or F-22, if they can show us that video, I think that's the one Lou Elzano talked about. If they can show us that video where the UFO gets within 50 feet of the cockpit window of an F-22, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Because to fake something like that, it would have to take a pretty good editor. Somebody with a lot of know-how. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But that would trigger me. That would make me very happy. And I think a lot of you would fall in line with that. I think you would be extremely happy to know that the video is authentic. We saw a UFO up close to an F-22, 50 feet or so. What more evidence do you want? Well, now that they've showed us that, what do you know about it? Where did it come from? Can we know any more about that? Now we're talking about disclosure. Showing us that UFO up close to the window of an F-22 or F-18, I believe, maybe, I don't remember what it was. That's not disclosure. It's not. It's harsh, but it's not disclosure. It's just evidence. That's it. Disclosure is telling us everything that's been hidden from the public, any secret, any top secret, any top secret information. Where are the bodies? Where are the UFOs? I want to see video evidence. Go now. And they do it. Just like they did with Geraldo when they were looking for Grant's tomb. What was that? The gangster? They were looking for his grave. 3 hours we all watched on television open up to an empty office. Or vault. But I'm afraid, my friends, we too will have an experience similar to that. One day we're going to go down there with cameras. We're at S4. We're at S4 now. We're going down to level, what is this, green? No, we're going to purple. Purple 4. It's from my dream I had. And they get down to level 4, and there's no lights that turn on. They shine their flashlight, and there's nothing. What the hell? I feel like a bug got in my ear. That's what I'm afraid of. Whose tomb? Who was it? Oh, I can't. Al Capone's voice. That's right, Al Capone. What's this? Sent PP 2 hours ago? Holy shit. Really? Damn it. Well, didn't I? Okay, so you did. David Wilcox, you did. And let me tell you something. That's weird. Because it shows it right above, which means it would have been the next one to where Jeanette's. Now, I didn't get Jeanette's for 20 minutes, 30 minutes later. There, I had other emails come in. Yours wasn't there. It is now. Hers came in at 7:11. Yours came in at 7:18. And then the next email shows 7:53 and then 8:01 and so on. That's just bizarre, bro. And I'm sorry it's been that long. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting the notification bell. It's not going off. I never would turn it off. Let's see. All right, I can't do that here. Oh, thank you. Very good. You know, you brought up something in the PayPal that I meant to bring up and I forgot. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. All right. So this is kind of interesting. You did bring up a good point. And thank you for the $20 on the PayPal. Mucho gusto freaking generoso, bro. Thank you. I mean that. Sorry, I just don't know why that didn't show up. But you say what I forgot to say. Didn't anybody tell that loser Corbell to wear a suit? And Knapp does look like Foster Brooks. Oh, yeah. That's good. Hold on. It's bringing me to his... All right, check this out. Thank you, David. Man, I'm sorry it took 2 hours. I really don't understand it either. But George Knapp, watch. You ready? You see him behind me? Now watch this. Foster Brooks always played like the town drunk. The best, probably still the best guy, fake drunk. Oh, it's not playing. I thought it was playing for you. Let me replay this again. It switched over to YouTube when I hit the video. Oh my God, Orson Welles.
Stop getting gas because President Carter is slapping a tax on big guzzlers.
He does kind of look like him. So I thought of a name for George Knapp and Corbell as a team. They could be Cornap. Cornap. That's the only one that works because you can't do anything else. I tried it. What? Napel? Napple? Can't do that. So it's Cornap. David, again, thank you, man. I'm sorry that took 2 freaking hours. You know that's rare. It doesn't happen that often, but I don't like missing on a super chat or PayPal, any type of donation. So, again, my apologies for that. That sucks. But we got it. It happened. We're good. I appreciate you. Ow. Felt like I got snaggled. What's this? It's already... Oh my God, it's 20 after 9? Oh no. The deep critical thinker has become the misfit of the world. Did you know this? This is not a coincidence. To maintain order and control, you must isolate the intellectual, the sage, the philosopher, the savant, before their ideas awaken people. This is one of the greatest tragedies of our time. Why do you think they keep saying asking questions is hate? Isn't that weird? I think that's weird. We've seen it too many times in this field. They don't like it when we ask questions. I can't believe it. It's just a bizarre world we're living in. But that's it for tonight. I'm going to leave you with that. I'll be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow, I don't know, something on me. I think tomorrow I am doing the Bizarro show. Down is up is down. I've been thinking of ways to do this show. And the only way I could do it is to lie about everything I believe in. And I've practiced and I can't get but 5 minutes done. So I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something interesting, but yet informative. Anyway, thank you everybody. Moderators, the best. Super chatters, unmatched. And everybody in between, the newcomers and veterans. Thank you for making the chat room excitable. Mucho gusto, love for that. Seriously. And we do it every night, even though nobody listens, nobody cares. The message does get to some people, if not everybody, eventually. And what's that message? It's truthology for ufology. From Goofon. We try. All right. Thank you, Moonlick. Appreciate you saying that. Mike Johnson, how you doing? Alfie, Joe, Bob, everybody else. Have a great night. Be kind to each other. Be safe out there. And alien blessed.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your